Oppression. So, what's the definition of freedom? A free people are able to practice their culture at all times and in all situations. So, if you can't practice your culture in all times and all situations, if you have to hide your true identity or you can't dress the way you want within your cultural context, have the name that's within your cultural context, you have to use other people's names and all these types of things. You don't eat your cultural food, then you're not a free people. Um, and it's really just that simple. So if you find yourself uh, doing things of other people's culture, having their names, dressing, wearing their clothing, speaking their language only, then you already know that they're inside your mind. So to deal with that oppression, we have to have even more nutrition to deal with that. So when you're eating, you have to eat for self-defense. When you're stressed out, we tend to eat things that are unhealthy for us because we are stressed out. But really, that's the best time to eat something that's healthy. If you're dealing with some type of stress at work or in a relationship or whatever, or just life in general, then you have to eat and put certain nutrients in your body to deal with those, like amino acids like glutathione. You may need some tyrosine, some taurine, some phenylalanine. Those are good anti-stressor amino acids to deal with that extra stress that we have to deal with. Just keeping your liver strong with milk thistle, dandelion root, your kidneys with the sarsaparilla and the bilberry, astragalus. So you want to do extra when you're dealing with these types of environments. Because whenever you are stressed out, you tend to the body loses nutrition when you get into an argument or whatever. And what happens is you create another satiation for food, and those food satiations are created by your biochemistry in your body. So if the biochemistry in your body is already off, you're going to crave those very things that were already incorrect for you to eat in the first place. So what you want to do before any type of nutritional plan, you always want to do a detox. You want to detox the body so you can change the biochemistry, because people say, I crave this food, I crave that food. Well, the reason you crave those foods, I'm sorry, let me close this real quick. The reason you crave those foods is because the chemistry is in the organs is pushing out those nefarious appetites that you acquired or become accustomed to over time. You know, a baby, you watch a baby eat, they take everything apart because we're only made to really eat one thing at a time. You're not supposed to be combining all these types of foods that are not proper. And if you do, there is a proper way to combine them. That's why I have a food combination chart. If you need that, I can send that to you as well. But so the body's not made to drink and eat at the same time. You need to allow at least 15 minutes, if not more. 30 minutes is safe. 45 minutes to an hour is even better to let the food absorb. Then you can drink. So you want to eat 30 minutes before or 30 minutes after a meal, but not drink and eat at the same time, because what happens is you're not going to allow your food to absorb. So to get all the nutrients that you ate, or get the most of out of what you're eating, then you want to allow your body to eat the food and then wait about 15 to 30 minutes and then have something to drink. Or you can have something to drink 15 or 30 minutes prior to what you eat, and then you can have your meal. These basic types of things can help you elevate your nutrition and your health and your state of being, your consciousness on a different plateau if you are trying to get there. If not, then just ignore this message and keep on doing what you've been doing. The unfortunate thing about that is usually we are trying to save things last moment. So people tend not to respond to the health until it's a health crisis. Alright? Remember, there's no such thing as a health emergency. There's only one emergency word emergency means emerging from the mother's uterus. You emerge from your mother's womb. That's the only emerging process there is. So when people in hospitals say emergency room, that's only for birth. That's not for car accidents and other stuff. But there's misusing the word, and therefore we've used that word for a lot of different health crises. But it's not made. It wasn't intentionally used for that. Initially used for that that definition, that purpose. So just remember that when you first thing in the morning, you don't want to have a big meal. You know, you want to allow your body to cleanse. So I don't know why people think that for some reason breakfast is the first thing you eat in the morning. It has nothing to do with what time of day you eat. Breakfast is whatever meal you eat. The first thing you do when you wake up, whatever meal you eat, the first meal, it could be at 2 p.m., 3 p.m. If you had a bag of chips and french fries, that's your breakfast. So don't get stuck on this whole breakfast is at from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. type stuff. That's not breakfast. That may be a breakfast time, but breakfast could be at 6 p.m. if you had just waking up. If that's the first thing you're eating when you're waking up, then that's how you broke your fast. So if you had a hamburger and hot dog and some chips when you woke up at 3 p.m., then you had a hamburger and chips and some french fries for breakfast. So whenever you're waking up, you want to help the body cleanse. So you want to just drink a glass of water or have some fruit, something that can cleanse you out. Let that sit for like at least 3 to 4 hours, and then you can have a meal after that. Not to eat after 8 p.m. That's very important too. So all your main sustenance should be between 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. That's your main time to acquire your food. After that, you want to eat a lot lighter. So after 4 p.m., from about 4 to 7, 8 p.m. is a stretch, but no later than 8 p.m. is when you should only have something very light, you know, a salad and some fruit or a smoothie. Nothing heavy. A whole bunch of meat and starches is going to be taxing on your system. So again, that's going to help your body heal and help you deal with the constant pressure of oppression. Not being able to express yourself, be yourself around everybody, not being able to express your culture at all times, in all situations. If you don't have your name, then you're oppressed. If you don't have the clothing, then you're oppressed. If you're not eating your food, then you're oppressed. You see, if you're not practicing your spirituality system, not religion, but your spiritual system, then you're oppressed. Keep that in mind. It's not rocket science. It's just being able to practice your culture at all times, in all situations. Feel like you can't say what's on your mind, and you feel like someone's going to persecute you for it, then you're oppressed. You see? So it's pretty much that simple though. So just keep that in mind. You want to keep the organs healthy. The body replenishes itself. Blood every 90 days. The organs every 11 months, and the bones every 2 years. So every 2 years, your whole body is completely made anew. What you call regeneration, basically. But the plants are supposed to do that for you when you eat plants, if you're eating vegetables. So you really call that a transplant. But the medical industry thinks a transplant is taking someone else's liver and put it in your liver, your body, or whatever. Taking someone else's organ and put it in your body. That's not a transplant. That's the medical industry confessing that it no longer knows what to do, and therefore it has to succumb to taking other people's organs out of their bodies to fix you, which doesn't really fix the problem, because the problem is in the brain, not in the body, the habits. So keep that in mind. Remember, self-motivation, and motivation is daily. It's not something you just do and you're done with it. If you eat daily, if you bathe daily, then you should also motivate yourself daily. You start in the rising time when you wake up. That way you can get your day to the right start. So if you feel like you're losing motivation, do it every day. Every day you wake up, just pick it back up. I'm an African person. I'm African. Africa first. Do this first. Every day. That way it becomes automatic eventually. But if you're not doing that, you're gonna get pulled right back into the matrix and keep on succumbing and subscribing to Western culture. It happens too easily. It happens to the best of you. You gotta do it daily. You gotta assert yourself daily as an African man or African woman or whatever. You gotta do it daily. So with that said, remember, this is a lifestyle. This is not a diet. And I'll catch up with you guys later. Peace.